everyone. Welcome to the Preschool All-Stars podcast. I'm Bethany Johnson, and I'm here with Deana Matiyasic. How are you doing today, Deana?
I'm doing really good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for talking with us tonight. I'm excited to get your story.
Yeah, I'm excited to do this. So thanks for the offer.
Of course, yeah. First things I like to do is kind of get a little background about where you were, what was going on with you before you decided to start your preschool journey.
Well, I was a manager at a dog training
Okay.
facility, and I'm just a single person, and I've always really wanted to have kids. And so I was telling this to my manager, who was the owner of the business, and she said, "Well, just have a kid. You can have a kid because then you can bring the kid to work with you, and it'll be fine." And I'm like, "Okay, great." So I go through the process to get like a donor and all of this stuff, get pregnant. And then she all of a sudden was not okay with this situation. So it like
Uh,
kind of turned like not great. Um,
oh no.
but we ended up parting ways. And I was like 4 to 5 months pregnant. And then I was like, well, I'm unemployed and I'm pregnant. This is fantastic.
Oh
So
man.
I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And of course, I was like, well, let's just run a daycare because I've worked with kids. And then I'd worked with dogs, which is super similar actually.
Yeah,
Um,
I can imagine.
and my friend was, yeah, my friend was pregnant at the exact same time. So our kids are actually only 8 weeks apart. So I started watching her daughter along with my son after I had him. And then my other friend was pregnant and then had a baby. So it just kind of like I started watching my friends' kids. And I'm
Okay.
like, well, I guess I'm running a daycare now. So then I made it official, got a website and business and all of that stuff.
Hmm.
Brought on a few more kids and did that for about 2 years. And then I started to realize like I'm not really enjoying my days anymore. Like I'm waiting for them to be over versus
Hmm.
enjoying the time with the kids. Like I enjoyed it when I
Right.
had just the three, but then
Yeah.
adding on all those other kids, they're getting older, they eat a lot more, and they're way messier,
So
a
how
lot
many
more
did you
mobile.
have at a
So
time?
five,
Five. Okay.
and they
Were
were
you
all under
licensed?
two.
Oh, wow. That's a lot. That's a lot of
No,
tiny babies.
yeah. Yes, it was definitely a lot. But it was so fun at first. So
Right.
I'm like, well, what's one more? Okay,
Right.
what's one more? And in Utah, I don't have to be licensed if I have four additional kids, including my own.
Okay.
So I didn't need to be licensed at that time. But then I was looking at long-term goals and financially, because I mean, I'm a single parent on
Yeah.
purpose. So, and my other job was great pay. It was, it was great. So I was kind of banking on that, which you obviously should never
Yeah.
do. Um, and so since that didn't pan out, it kind of turned into this daycare thing. But then I'm like, oh, I don't really like daycare anymore either. So I don't really
Hmm.
know what I'm supposed to do with myself because I don't want to put him in daycare. I've
Right.
worked in daycare. I was a nanny. I worked in daycare. I did all of the things with kids. Um, and I wanted to raise my own kid. I already raised a bunch of other people's kids, so I
Right.
wanted to do it. Um, and I had seen quite a few of Joy's ads on Facebook,
Hmm.
and I'm like, well, that looks cool, but I just don't know if like that's something that I could do.
Hmm.
And so I just kind of like would go past it, and then I kept seeing it. So good marketing.
Yeah.
And then I was
Yeah.
so then I was like, fine, I'm gonna get a book. I'm just gonna order the book. We'll just see how it goes. So then I start looking into the book, and I mention it to my friend, who I also watch her daughter. Um, and I was like, what do I hate the most about my day with daycare? And it was all the diapers, all of the meals and dishes, and nap time.
Yeah.
Like they were my biggest stressors. Like I hated them. And so I'm like, actually, if I do preschool, I don't have to really deal with any of those things except for
Hmm.
like a snack, which is nothing.
Right.
Um, and so then I started kind of brainstorming, like, how could I do this? And then I still was like, I'm not ready to pull the trigger because I do love the families that I had, but I wasn't doing them a service by being miserable all day hanging out with their
Hmm.
kids.
Right.
So I ultimately decided, okay, I have to. So I gave them all notice, which was really sad. But I'm still in contact with a few of them, so it was nice. Um,
And when was
and so
this?
I ended my preschool in October of 2020.
Okay.
October 2020 was when I ended, the beginning of October,
Okay.
right in the middle of, a pandemic. That's
Of
fine.
course. Of course. Yep.
So then I decided, you know, 2 weeks later, let's just start a brand new business where you socialize children in a pandemic.
Yep.
But I did it anyways because I'm like, I can't continue to do daycare. I just can't. So
Right.
I just took the leap and I did it. So I started the last week of October of 2020. And as of today, I have 14 kids
Wow.
enrolled. So over 4
That's
classes. So
amazing. That's
yeah,
so
it's going
great.
really well.
Yeah. So let me ask, I know Joy has in her book the like 30 days transition from daycare to preschool. Did you use that transition plan?
I read it, but I didn't follow it step by step. I don't think. Um, I tend to be I'm gonna dive all in type of person and
Mhm.
do all of this research everywhere and get it all laid out on paper. And then the hard part is saying, okay, this is the day. But I finally did that, which was super helpful. And then after I gave notice to the kids, then I did start really following Joy and getting. I got on the group that there is, the free group, um, and just like seeing all the things that people are doing and all of that stuff. But I didn't follow like an official 30-day
Right.
challenge type of thing to start it.
Mhm.
But I did read it, and so it was probably just somewhere there in the back of my mind.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Awesome. So how did you go about getting the new clients and starting, the whole
I So my friend is who I still have her daughter 5 days a week.
Okay.
Um, so
And how
her
old
and
is
my
your son
son,
now? Sorry. How old is your son?
he's going to be 3 in May.
Okay.
And my friend's daughter is turning 3 in a week. So
Okay.
they're very close. And they're basically siblings. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to keep watching your daughter. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Plus she's the right age anyway.
I just need to have them
Yeah.
together. They're so exactly. So I have her full time still, and her mom works in marketing, so that was pretty
Nice.
convenient.
Yeah.
So she's helped me with some marketing strategies, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And then I did do the 7-day challenge that Joy was doing, the Founding Family
Okay.
Challenge, um, which I had already technically started my school, so I had a few students. But then I did that. I forget what month that was that I did the Founding Family Challenge, but it was when she very first introduced it to everybody, other than the All Star group.
Yep.
Um, but I did get 7 students with the Founding Family,
Nice.
which I feel like I kind of cheated a little bit when I did that because I did boost the post on Facebook, but I'm like, still, I got people. So, but yeah, I mean, like it was really awesome. I got so many inquiries about the preschool, and now I finally have kind of like a really good flow, and I have more pictures online of what the school
Mhm.
is and all of that kind of stuff. So all I remember the first thing my first interaction with Joy, she was doing free audits of your website.
Oh, yep. Yep. I remember
And
that.
so I had sent her my website and she had looked at it. So that was kind of when I first was like, okay, this chick's awesome. Like, she knows what she's doing.
Mhm.
And then I just kind of like dove in right after that.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, that's kind of where we started with that.
Cool. And what's the name of your preschool?
It is Creative Clovers Preschool.
Love it. And where are
Um,
you located?
I am in Sandy, Utah.
Okay. Awesome. So now give us a little bit of a rundown about how it runs. What's the schedule like? How many classes?
So I have 4 classes. I started with just 2, the morning
Okay.
classes, and I've just added the other 2 afternoon. So my morning classes are 8:30 to either 11 or 11:30, and my afternoon classes are 1 to 3:30 or 1 to 4. And I have them a little bit different on times, which I regret. I wish they were exactly the same time for all the classes. So next year I'm going to have them the same, but I did them differently because I accept 2 years old instead of just the typical 3 to 5.
Yep.
So I'm trying to stand out in that way where I'm accepting the younger kids, which was my most popular in the very beginning. So I have my 2 to 3-year-old class, which is like an introduction to structure. So like very, very loose, but still getting a lot of socialization, introduction to all of, the basics of colors, shapes, letters, all of that good stuff.
Yep.
And then I have my other class, which is 3 to 5, which is more of your typical preschool setting. And that class is 3 hours. The younger kids is 2.5 hours.
Okay.
So that's why there's the difference. And I also don't require that any of the kids are potty trained, which is also not something that's typical, at least in my area. Usually in preschools, they have to be potty trained by 3 in order to go.
Right.
And I have 2 4-year-olds right now who are still not really potty trained, and they wouldn't be able to go anywhere. So I kind of have that in my corner, and I don't mind. Like, it's not a big deal. They're here for 2.5, 3 hours. It's not.
Yeah.
And it's not 5 diapers every 2 hours.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Do you help with potty training? Is that like part of what you offer?
I don't offer like I'm going to potty train your child, but I will, give them those reminders, help them with the bathroom.
Right.
Basically, yeah.
Cool. And is it Monday through Friday, Monday through Thursday? How many days a week?
Yes. So I do it 5 days a week. The younger kiddos, which is the 2.5 hours for 2 to 3 years old, they are Tuesday and Thursday. So a morning class and an afternoon class. And then the Monday, Wednesday, Friday is my older kids for the morning and the afternoon.
Okay. And there's still 5 kids in each class?
No, I have 8 in my 2 to 3 year class. And I'll take up to 10 in my 3 to 5. So I'm kind of maxing out at 10 for those older guys and 8 for the younger. And I still don't have to be licensed because I have the kids less for than 4 hours.
Oh, wow.
So that was like,
that's cool.
Yeah, it's like this weird little
loophole
that they've got.
So what's the maximum you're allowed?
Yeah, because it doesn't specify anything.
Really? Wow.
That I have found. So I'm just going to my comfort level.
Right.
Which is 8 and 10. In my summer camp that I'm also going to do, I have it at 12, but if I get a whole bunch of 2-year-olds that join, then obviously I'll do less. But if they're all 4 and 5, 12 is nothing. So, so I'm kind of basing it on my comfort level.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. So you're really maxing them out. That's so cool that you can have that many. Let's see. So I'm trying to think, when is your fall classes over? And when does your summer camp start? And are you doing like a special summer thing that's different from your normal classes, or is it kind of like a continuation?
Yeah, so I'm following a local school district schedule. So their last day of school is the first week of June. So that's also my last week.
Okay.
And then that's when they have their, graduation. And then I take about a week off to kind of get ready for summer. And then I have a summer school in the morning, which is 9 to 11:30, Monday through Thursday. So if people want to continue the school structure, it's just going to be a continuation, but just like a 9-week summer school. And then in the afternoon, I'm doing a summer camp, which is more like we're outside the whole time. We're doing like experiments and like just like more outside fun type of learning stuff.
Okay.
And those are from June.
Stay for the whole day.
I have thought about offering that, but then I was worried that it would feel like daycare again. So I have decided against it.
Okay.
Because my class ends at 11:30 and the next one doesn't start until 1. And I still have my kid and my
Right.
friend's kid that I want to take upstairs, get them lunch,
Yeah.
do all of their stuff. And so I don't want to overwhelm myself. So I
Yeah.
did decide against that, but it was like
I
in
thought.
there as an
Yeah.
idea.
I just started
Yeah. Um,
offering that for the summer, like full day, because I have 45 minutes in between my classes,
mhm,
and that's like the lunch break. And I do have one girl who stays 2 days a week for the full day, and she just eats lunch. She brings a lunch from home, and but I've
mhm.
decided to offer it, but only because I have a teacher teaching, so she's gonna teach, and then I'll come in and sit with them during lunch.
Yeah.
But I think if it was just me, I wouldn't do it either.
Yeah.
It's nice to have that little break.
Yeah.
Definitely,
For
definitely.
sure.
Yep.
For sure. And I technically don't actually get it because I'm with the two other little kids.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
But they
Yep,
can kind of fend for themselves for a minute. So,
yeah. So what do
um,
you charge for
but
your
yeah, so my summer's just June 4th.
Oh, sorry, go ahead, continue.
My 2 day week. No, you're okay. I was just going to say it's June 14th to August 12th is my
Okay.
summer programs. And then I have a week and a half off before I start the fall, August 25th.
Okay, cool.
But my 2 day week classes are 130 a month, and I have a $50 registration fee for all the classes, even the summers.
Okay.
My 3 day week class is 195. And the summer camp and the summer school, I'm doing them as basically a package deal. So you're not paying per month or per week. You're paying for the program. So for the full 9 weeks, the one is 440 and the other one is 450.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. And how are you how's your registration? Is it starting to fill up already?
I have a couple, I think I have two people that are signed up for that. I'm actually in the process of making a flyer for my current families to
Mhm.
give them like an early bird special because I have way less spots for summer than I do for my current, because I have 14 kids,
Yep.
plus the two that I have all the time.
Yep.
And I don't have necessarily that many spots over summer. So I want to give them first dibs, give them a discount, and then anyone who chooses not to sign up, then I'll just kind of market the rest of it. So I'm kind of waiting on marketing a little bit for that
Yeah.
until they
That's
have their
exactly what
chance.
I did. I opened it up to my existing families, and and I gave them like a week. That's all I gave
Yeah.
them. Because I'm going on maternity leave soon. So I would want to like
Mm.
get it all registered. So I was like, I just wanted to open this up to and I didn't give them a discount for it either. I was just like, I just want to open this up to
Oh,
my
nice.
existing families, and next week I'm going to open it up. And it was filled in 2 weeks. So I really like lit a fire
Mm.
under them to be like,
Awesome.
to be like, and then I'm opening it up. And
Yeah.
almost all of them signed up, and it was almost full anyway. So it worked out great. So
Awesome.
how do you think that
Cool.
like being part of the All Stars and Joy's group helped you along your journey?
It's just like I have a very supportive family and friend group, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nice to have an additional group where everyone's doing the exact same thing, and seeing the fun ideas that they're doing. So with the founding family discount, um, I did get quite a few signups, but then I was like, crap, I'm not making as much money as I was planning. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I got the people in here, which was like the goal to kind of get things going. Um, and so when I wanted to run another deal of some sort, and I was listening to, or there was somebody, I don't know if it was on this podcast or if it was on the All Star group, but they had mentioned like instead of giving a discount every month, like give away a prize. And so I decided to do a free massage because that's,
Mm,
you know, X amount of money one time versus
right.
losing for all of those. So just like getting ideas like that from multiple places is super awesome. And then I can always tweak it and kind of make it work for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then also throw the idea at my marketing friend, and she can be like, "Ooh, that's good, but we can do this too." And
Mm-hmm.
so just like all of these ideas everywhere, which is awesome.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. Now, I started before the founding family script even started, but does it does it like your founding families, do you give them that rate for a certain amount of time, or is it ongoing? How does that work?
So the way that it was presented to me is it's for the entire time that they're signed up for that year.
Okay.
I Since my classes are 130 and 195, for my 130 class, I did say it was 97 for the rest of the year, so until June.
Okay.
For my other class, because it was 195, that's like $100 off.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to cut that much. So I gave them a 4-month discount. So
Okay.
they're basically saving about $400, and then they will start paying. And I was just hoping that they would be happy with how things were going, that they wouldn't mind paying that extra 100 for the rest of the year. And that's
Right.
how that's how it went. So, so yeah, it worked out really
Perfect.
good.
Yeah, nice. Awesome. So what do you have any big future plans for the business?
I do. So, I'm actually surprised that like I'm as full as I am right now, being like in a pandemic, first time I'm like doing this business.
Yeah, absolutely. You're
Um,
rocking it.
so it's been super awesome. So I'm hoping that I will be having a lot of returning students for fall, and then just be full. And then the plan is, if I am full, then I want to try and have another baby.
Mm.
And so then I want to be able to hire a teacher to
Uh-huh.
kind of start coming in. And so, like, long term goal, I have a baby and someone else teaches, and I do like the back end stuff, which
Yep.
I love to do. So,
That's
because
what
that
I'm
was one
doing
of
right
the,
now. That's my
yeah,
that's the transition I'm going for right now. I just hired someone and
yep,
just starting to step
that's
away.
awesome.
Yeah, so it's
Yep.
definitely it's kind of nice. It's like I mean, I am still in the classroom, but
Mhm.
it's kind of nice to like be able to know that I can have a baby and then just work on the admin stuff and have someone to teach for me.
Yeah, yep, that's the, yeah. And I have it in my entire basement,
Okay,
which is
that was my
completely
next question
separate,
because I love
from
that giraffe
my
behind
from my
you.
house. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Oh, thanks. Yes. I think I saw that on someone posted that on the Facebook group, and I was like, I need that right now,
Yeah, that's really
because
cool.
the basement that I have literally has 2 windows and they're
Yeah.
tiny. And I'm like, I needed to feel like there is more windows in here. So I
Mhm.
have two, there's a giraffe and there's one with birds too. And then of course, like lights everywhere. Um, but yeah, the whole basement it was set up for daycare, obviously. So I have like the kitchen and all of that stuff, which I don't really use. But has like, the bathroom, and I even have an indoor slide and stairs, which
Oh,
is like
cool.
the best thing in the
Yeah,
world.
that's really nice,
With a
especially in
separate
the winter.
yard. And yes. So then when I have a baby and someone else is teaching, I'm upstairs with my own personal yard, my personal space. We don't have to like cross paths ever.
Yep.
And so yeah, it's going to be really, really awesome. I'm excited for that next step as well. So
Yeah, absolutely. Does the basement have a separate entrance as well? So they don't have to go through your
yes.
house together? That's really nice.
Nope. Yeah, we added that, which was super expensive,
Yeah.
but completely worth it. And it just makes it seem like super professional,
Mhm.
because like there's like a code on the gate. They come in, it's like they just see this. And I don't have to worry if there's dishes in my sink or my
Right.
kids' toys are all over the floor. Like, it's
That's
super
really
awesome.
nice.
It's worked out really good.
Yeah. Yeah, to have that separate space, that's amazing.
Mhm.
Awesome. Well, that's so exciting about your future plans. How big is your space?
Yeah.
Like how many square feet would you say your
The
basement is?
basement it's about 11 to 1200 square feet.
Okay. Okay. So that's a good amount of space for the amount of kids you have. And then you're able to
Mhm.
have all that climbing stuff indoors. That's what I wish. I wish I had that space in my garage because I would love to have some indoor climbing stuff because I'm in Las Vegas where it gets so hot in
Mhm.
the summer. Sometimes, like the winter, we've
Yeah.
been able to go out every day. The summer is when it gets really, really hot.
Mhm.
And I just wish we had some climbing space inside. So that's really awesome.
Yeah.
So, this is my favorite question. What would you say to anyone who's where you were, 6 months ago or a year ago and trying to figure out what to do and maybe thinking about making the transition from daycare or start quitting their job entirely to start a preschool? What advice would you give to them?
Um, Even if you feel like you it's not something that you could do because of finances or like personality or you just don't think that people are going to want to come. I have 14 families that have chosen me, and I'm higher priced than other places, and I just barely started.
Mhm.
But like marketing is like the key. I feel like marketing is there's just not a lot of people that market their preschools. And so when people are searching, like they need to find you, and they can't find you if you don't market yourself. But it's
Mhm.
hard to market yourself if you don't have the confidence to say like, oh, I can do this. And like when I have new kids starting, I have new kids starting on Monday, and I'm still like terrified. I'm like, what if this kid judges me? And I'm like, he's 4, like calm down. But
Yeah.
like I still get that every single time, and they're fine. Like I had 2 twin 4-year-olds that started this last Monday, and I was like petrified. I was like, oh my gosh, what if they're terrible? And they're fine. Like they're kids, they just like fun.
Mhm.
And it took me quite a while to figure out how to do circle time. Circle time was really rough for me,
Mhm.
because I am not a stage person. Like I don't want people looking at me. I'm very shy when it comes to like being center of attention person, which I've gotten way better at. Or I wouldn't even be doing this podcast even though I'm by myself in my basement. Um, but like it's like you can do it if you have the right tools. Um, and like I just had to start singing to the kids. Like that's all they wanted me to do. And I kept trying to find all these songs on YouTube or Pandora, and I would play them, and they're like, we don't want to hear this song. But if I sing it, they're like, oh my gosh, we're all about it. And I mean,
Mhm.
I don't have a great voice, like,
Yeah.
but they don't care.
Right.
And I really like felt like they would care. So that was a little bit freeing for me to just be like, oh, like I can sing in front of a child that I just barely met, and they like it. Like they don't care that I'm like maybe out of tune or whatever. But that was the scariest for me, was like the circle time stuff, because it's like they're watching me and like waiting for me to entertain them, and I am not that person.
Mhm.
um, but then I find myself having like all this fun, and I get like mini cardio sessions in, so
Yeah.
it's super fun. And like another big fear that I had was like the parents, because I you have a certain relationship with parents when you're doing daycare, but preschool is completely different.
Mhm.
Um, it's, I mean, they still obviously care where their kid is, but their kid is only here for a couple hours, and
Yeah.
they can talk to them, they can tell them what happened, and they get so excited when they can show their parents, like, look what I did today, and I played with my friend and did this, and it's just completely different than daycare, and it's way more fulfilling.
Yeah.
Um, Daycare worked for me for the first year and a half, when I had an infant. But as soon as I didn't, it just no longer worked. So if it's not working, you're not doing the kids any favors, because you're miserable. They know that. And then they're going to act worse.
Mhm.
So just let it go and start your preschool, because you can.
Yeah. Awesome. Just let it go. You hear that, everyone? Let it go and start your preschool.
Yep. Just be
Well,
Elsa.
yeah, there you go. Oh my gosh, we sing a lot of Elsa.
Yeah.
I want to thank you so much for sharing your story, and wish you all the best of luck in your future plans. And congratulations on all your success so far.
Thank you so much.
Yes, you have an awesome night. Thank you so much.
Thanks. You too.
If you'd like to have a success story just like that one, I invite you to join our Preschool All-Stars. It's my exclusive membership community where you'll get mentorship from me with weekly Q&A lives, support and guidance, and friendship from hundreds of women on the exact same journey as you, starting, running, and growing their preschools, and my exclusive access to Preschool University, every training and done-for-you file that you'll need for every milestone on your journey to help you start, run, and grow your preschool. We've all been there, and we've got the exact same steps that you need to go through, but we do it all very quickly so that you don't have to waste time or money doing the wrong things at the wrong time. We'd love for you to join our Preschool All-Stars membership. Just go to preschoolallstars.com or click the link in the description to immediately jump into Preschool All-Stars. Again, go to preschoolallstars.com and we'll see you there.